morning, millennials. How you doing?
Hi.
Guys, I'm here with Olivia today. I don't know if we explicitly told the toasters that you were going to be Wednesday's episode in studio with me, because you know this week is a bag of randomness.
A bag of fun. No, I just posted on my Instagram story that I was on the toast. So mostly to share that I'm wearing my natural curly hair on the toast, which is literally the first time I've ever publicly done anything with my natural hair.
Talk to us about this decision.
Well, because I woke up this morning, I had so much to do. I didn't really have that much time. I showered, and like, obviously if you have curly hair or just in general, you know, like when you start blow drying your hair and then ironing it, you start sweating. Like I wasn't in the mood to come here sweating. And I was like, you know what? I'm going for gold. Like I'm just going to embrace who I am. No, but I don't think we've ever done the toast together in studio.
Not here.
Not ever. No,
Not
like
ever?
maybe a long time ago.
Yeah, like in the, pink background, first toast studio. We definitely did it together when Claudia was on tour. But definitely not in the last 5 years.
Agreed.
And certainly not in this studio.
And the only reason why I fully know that is because I get to sit in Claudia's seat, which is more my side. And like when I replace you and I sit over there, like I'm always 100% more uncomfortable because like my body doesn't turn that way, you know?
Yeah, Claudia got the good side when we started the show 7 years ago. And it's fine. I've made this side my own, and now I like it.
Yeah, no, you can rock anything, so you're good.
No, yeah, it is what it is. If I had if I had my druthers 7 years ago, I would have chosen that side, but it was more important to her. Everyone knows.
Yeah, there's something about this side. Like if you ever look, people actually notice it sometimes. I've gotten like a few comments about it, but like you'll never catch me in a photo on that side. I'm either in the middle or like on this side.
Got it.
It's not comfortable.
You don't have a reason for that?
I'm telling you, it's because my body only turns this way.
You're like Zoolander.
I just I can't. I don't know. It's just always been my thing. And it is what it is.
It is what it is. Well, I'm so glad that you're here. We podcasted together a few months ago, but it was audio only. So now we're in my studio, Flamingos, which is just a fun treat. Claudia's in LA, podcasting from Dear Media Studios. And we're just having a nice random week. Yeah,
like I also never wear pink, and like only when I come on the toast I'll wear pink to like match the vibe. I feel like I have to like get into character.
Yeah, no, pink is very toasty. I'm wearing green, which is also toasty. But, it's crazy that like you're wearing pink and I'm not.
No, I know. And if you know, like the last time I was on the toast with Claudia, I wore pink too. And those are probably the last 2 times that I've worn pink.
What do you think? Are you feeling like you want to wear more pink? It's such a great color.
It is such a great color. I just also really love this sweatshirt. So I made sure to wash it last night. But like with these, you can't really dry them. So it had to be like washed and hang dried. So it was like a whole thing of
once they dry, they lose their magic.
Yeah.
I need to like not wash them at all, but like I get spit up on them. Like,
I'm disgusting.
Yeah, so it doesn't work out.
Every time I leave the house, I look down and I'm like, how does this have a fucking stain on it? Like everything I own has stain on it. Permanent stain that happened in this minute. Honestly, like I'm shocked that I don't have like coffee all over me right now, you know?
It's still, the morning is still young.
This is actually my second coffee today already.
Oh.
But I raided your fridge for some coffee because you need coffee.
You need coffee to do the toast. And that's what we're going to do today. We have a great show for you guys today. We have 5 stories, a lot of similar stories in the news this week, which is going to be more fun to talk about today because I want to get your take on a few of the most popular stories. And we're going to do Dear Toasters. And I feel like everybody needs Olivia's advice in their life. I couldn't think of a better host to accompany me for Dear Toasters. I'm so
excited. And it's a lot of pressure,
It is, but I feel like I wonder if we're going to give the same advice, because if we don't, then it's less pressure because it's like you got both.
Yeah, now do what you want.
Paths, now you choose. So I wonder if we're going to be the same.
The thing about Dear Toasters is like when you initially hear a story, I feel like, or a situation, you have like an instant reaction. And then like the more you ruminate on it, like you kind of
talk
come
it through.
to
that's like talking with a friend.
100%.
You got to talk things through. That's what we're here to do.
Yeah, I mean, talk away, girly.
I will. So we're going to get into all that. But before we do, let's catch up with Altivia. How are you doing? What's new with you
I'm
since we last
in.
saw you?
Well, today is actually a very special day because today is my Levi's birthday.
Happy birthday, Lee.
My baby is 1. And honestly, like I could cry talking about it only because like it's gone by so fast. And I think I've said this before, but everybody's always like, enjoy it, soak it all in. It goes by so fast. And it is like such annoying advice. But then when you really think about it, it goes by so fast. And I'm just like, where did the time go? You know?
Yeah.
And I feel like for me, both, and any child, baby born period is a miracle. But like my 2 pregnancies were so different and for their own, reasons had their own situations. And so like when I just can't believe it's a year already, and I'm so excited to celebrate. So
I'm excited to celebrate too. I'm excited to give Levi his gift. I'm not going to spoil it, but I'll let everyone know later on.
Yeah, I know what it is.
I told you?
No.
How do you know?
Because I brought your packages in and it was so obvious.
Oh,
I know.
That's so annoying. I wanted to surprise you.
I know, it's sick. It's actually the most epic gift ever. Like, you're so creative,
Darn. I
know.
Okay.
Like, literally, when I rolled up, I'm like, what the hell is this? And I'm like, it could only be a birthday present for Levi.
But you saw that I have it. Oh, wait, no. What you think you saw, it was not Levi's birthday present.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I know what there was like a Vespa.
Yeah.
That's not his present.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. That was a baby gift for Charlie. I don't know who sent it. It wasn't on my registry.
That's a very cool gift.
So I need to find out who sent that.
Yeah.
That is not Levi's present.
Okay. Surprise.
But you did bring in Levi's present too.
Oh, okay. Then I don't know what it is.
And okay, I'm so excited you don't know what it is.
We'll tell the people later what you got.
Yeah, because now the surprise is intact.
Yeah, it's intact. But that Vespa was sick. I was like, this is so cool.
Yeah, I mean, Levi's welcome to play with it.
I'm sure he will. I mean, Kayla, I'm sure actually will take it.
Yeah.
Because,
But that's so funny.
I took Michaela to the store yesterday to go buy a birthday present for Levi, and she picked out a book for him, and she picked out this like kind of like wooden laptop desk situation, which was super cute. And so she gave it to him this morning, and when we opened it up, she grabbed the book and she's like, this is mine. And I'm like,
well, she picked it out.
Girly pop, it ain't yours.
But like, she picked it out because she liked it.
Yeah.
And so now it's like, wait, but it was for someone else. That's a hard concept to wrap your head around.
It is.
It's like gift giving.
I know. And I probably like did it all wrong, because I also let her pick out a gift for herself that I bought her yesterday. And I was like, this one's yours and these are for Levi.
She only saw a gift and she saw her, and that's it.
Everything she thinks is hers, Even Harry's thing she thinks.
It's mine. That's her favorite.
Yeah, literally. So yeah, it's a special day, 10/18. And obviously I feel like, when I shared that Levi was born last year, I never told anybody I was pregnant. So it was like crazy town. Yeah. And like, can you believe we're a year from that?
Yeah, it does feel like a year though.
Does it?
Yeah, for me.
Oh, that's cool. It does not for me. But I also feel like the reason why it does is because I was actually thinking about this morning. The first year of your baby's life is shorter than the 9 months that you're pregnant with them. Like, the pregnancy just feels so long. And I feel like because you really like got pregnant like the month after Levi was born, I feel like that's why it feels like long.
A year, because it's been a long year for me.
Right.
Yeah.
100%. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm excited to celebrate.
Yeah, me too.
Happy birthday. Happy
Thanks.
1 year of motherhood,
Of being a boy mom.
No, the first year of baby's life, whether it's your first, second, or whatever, is a milestone for mama too.
100%.
So it's a celebration for you getting through year one, which is a crazy year.
It is a crazy year. But I feel like right after kind of like 6-7 months, which for Levi was when he started like sleeping through the night, that's when the tide turned. The first 6 months are so hard. Even if you get your kid to sleep at like 3 months, like it is very difficult just in general. And when you're in it, it feels like it's so much, and then it goes so fast and you're like, how did I even get through it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, we're through it. 1 year, baby.
Yay. Okay, so let's get into the stories. I'm so eager to get your take on all things pop culture right now.
Yeah, I'm like an adjacent pop culture girly, so I don't even like really know how much I can say, because I don't like know anything about anything, but I know things,
I like a different vantage point, like someone who's not so in it. Like, what does someone, who has other interests, hobbies, think about some of these stories that are taking over our lives?
100%.
So today's episode is brought to you by Skims. You guys, we love Skims. Skims is creating the next generation of underwear for everybody. It's so true. I wear Skims in my everyday life. Their Fits Everybody collection literally fits everybody. I love the scoop bralette in all their different colors: onyx, sand, clay. Their t-shirts, they fit so well. They're so flattering. The Fits Everybody collection of underwear is super lightweight and molds to your body. Finding the right underwear is something everyone has to go through at a certain point in their life, and you can just skip over all that work and go straight to the Skims Fits Everybody underwear, because it is the best underwear. The buttery soft fabric stretches to twice its size without ever losing shape, meaning you get a perfect fit every time, and it's available in sizes XXS to 4X. Do people call it XSX? That's a mouthful.
Extra small?
Yeah, I guess I could have just said extra small.
Yeah.
Anyways, you should believe the hype. Skims has over 90,000 five-star reviews for a reason. The Fits Everybody collection and more perfect fit essentials are available now at skims.com. Plus, you can get free shipping on orders over $75. After you place your order, be sure to let them know we sent you the toast. Select podcast in the survey and be sure to select our show in the drop-down menu that follows. You guys, please do that. Well, first of all, get your Skims because it's life-changing and everybody needs like great, solid, well-made staples in their life. But then also let them know your girl sent you so that credit.
By the way, that's such a good ad for the toast because like I own Skims undies and I feel like after you're a mom, like your belly just hangs. Like, I'm sorry, it just does. And like you need that material to like suck you in, but that's comfortable because you have to wear underwear all day.
Yeah,
you know?
It needs to be like fitted and snatched, but you need to be comfortable. And that's literally what Skims is.
Fitted and snatched, but comfortable, I feel like is like the MO of this family, you know, like in how you want to live your life. So, yeah.
Our episode today is also brought to you by Game Time. You guys, we love Game Time here at The Toast because we love concerts. We now love sports. And Game Time is the place to go to get your tickets. I have had so many frustrating ticket buying experiences in my life. Sure. There was a time in my life I was literally going to like 3 concerts a week. And I wish that I had been using Game Time at that time because they have the best last minute tickets. They have such good deals. I never got a good deal on some of the other services. Like I feel like I was just getting fleeced.
Yeah, it's so much better to buy it last minute actually too, because who can make plans these days?
So true. And you shouldn't have to worry when you're buying tickets to your next big event. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, and theater events near you with killer last minute deals, all in prices, views from your seat, and their best price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying tickets. So you want to go to the Game Time app, check out upcoming events in your area, like concerts. We love sports. As we said, we need to go to some sporting events down here. We have so many teams that we can support.
By the way, 100%. And you know what I always say, ever since we moved to Florida, the Florida teams have been amazing.
I know. And it makes you think.
It makes you think, you know? Like,
yeah, it's literally
And you're just getting into sports. Like it's all the things all combined, you know?
Right. So Game Time is the only ticketing app that gives you complete peace of mind with your purchase. You can see the view from your seat before you buy, so you know exactly what to expect when you arrive. I love that. I hate having to like hold my breath. Like, what are these seats that I bought? Game Time makes it so easy. 100%. You can take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code TOAST for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code TOAST, TOAST, for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Guaranteed. We love when things are guaranteed.
I love you guys.
Are you ready for the stories?
I'm ready, baby. Let's do it.
Okay. The first 2 stories like have the world by the balls today.
Ooh, okay.
Pop culture world, actually. I should state.
Yes.
Because there are other things going on. But first, Maren Morris files for divorce from Hurd after 5 years of marriage. So documents obtained by People confirm that she filed on October 2nd in Tennessee, citing irreconcilable differences as the reason for the divorce.
This is like shocking to me.
Yeah, documents state that the pair, who share a 3.5-year-old son, Hayes, have been separated since the filing date, which is like
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Yeah. A parenting seminar was ordered by a judge on July 25th and indicated that Morris and Hurd would have 60 days from the date of their filing filing their complaint to complete the seminar. But on July 25th, documents indicate that Morris successfully completed a 4-hour parenting skills seminar on October 14th. That's weird.
That is weird.
On July 25th.
What is that?
The seminar, it's a requirement for all divorce cases involving children in this county that they filed in.
Got it. Okay, so maybe there was another filing?
No, but like it started, things were moving on July 25th.
Got it.
But then the divorce filing happened on October 2nd.
Official papers. Yeah, I mean, I think one of the reasons, I obviously saw this news and then so I started to try to sleuth around. So neither of them have made a statement yet. This is like purely just in the news.
They found the docs.
Exactly, number one.
They got away with it for 2 weeks.
Yeah, but also Hurd had posted something, I think like September 20th, like this almost like love letter to Maren and her new music that was like really supportive and loving husband-esque. Mm-hmm. So again, based on the information that you're sharing, if things had gone awry like come July, like it's so interesting that he did that in September.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I feel like, things take a while to deteriorate, especially if you have a child. Like, I'm sure you're trying to make it work. And like, even if they filed on October 2nd, like, things were probably bad for a while.
Yeah.
But I could imagine a world where like he respects her so much as a musician and like as a person, because they both are musicians, where it's like, okay, maybe you didn't work out as my wife, but like, I support what you're doing. And, she made this big statement with her music and with herself, like saying she was leaving country music. And so he must have very much agreed with everything she was saying and like wanted to come out and speak out for her.
Yeah. I mean, I think my take on the situation, having absolutely zero context, so I obviously say that up front, I think it's probably very hard to be in a relationship where you both kind of started here together. Like, they met writing a song together where they were both really unknown, and then like her like star rose really fast, and like he just didn't take off in the way that she did. I actually personally like a lot of his music, and he's a great musician, but obviously like he never, he's not like Luke Combs level of country, right, or of just music in general. He's kind of, I would say, doing his own thing, and maybe more of I think he's a songwriter also. Like, I know he's also written some Lady A songs, I think. Not 100% sure of that, but I'm almost positive on that. So I would just imagine it's really hard to be in a relationship like that, where someone is like so much more famous than the other, but you both kind of started at the same place and both wanting that, because like she was on tour and like he was just kind of following along. And I think, I think he probably did as good of a job as he could supporting her for as long as like his heart could take, but there has to be some level of jealousy there. How do you really deal with that? Yeah,
well, they're the last of three country couples that were in this position. So first was Casey Musgraves and Rustin Kelly, and it was the exact same thing. Like, she's more successful, but they both do the same thing. Kelsey Ballerini and Morgan Evans, who also bit the dust last year, and now Maren and Ryan. And I feel like when the other couples, divorced, we compared them to the other ones in the situation. And Claudia and I like always said, who does such a good job of like, even though it's not equal in terms of success, they support and they love each other, and they're having a successful marriage.
Also, Carly Parse, Michael Ray.
Oh yeah, but that was like, that crashed and burned like
real
that,
fast.
But
then her star really took off.
Yeah, but that wasn't like a success. That's not.
It's a successful marriage.
And also, they got married at all like the same time, and they were all. It was just very similar situations. So I hate to like, generalize and be like, the men can't handle the women's success. I do think that plays a part in it, but I really felt like Maren and Ryan, I'm on first name basis with both of them. I
felt it was different
in
with them.
This situation. Like, I don't think that's it.
Okay, that's super fair. That's the only thing that I can glean from
I'm
this,
sure it doesn't help things. Like, it can never be helpful when two people are trying to do the same thing and one of them is having more success than the other. Like, that's hard. But I don't think that's the only reason, like it was in some of those other ones.
I think the other thing that's different about this one than the others is that they do have a child together.
True.
Yeah, they have a son.
But maybe that's also why they held on longer.
Right, 100%. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, honestly, I hope that, they navigate this as amicably as possible, and that ultimately they are both happy.
Yeah. And based on, the statement he put out when they were clearly getting a divorce, he has love and respect for her, and it's not nasty as of now.
Yeah. Sometimes people just don't work out, but that doesn't mean that they absolutely hate each other,
Yeah.
It's very rare, but I think that, some people are capable of that, which kudos to them.
Yeah. Yeah. So, damn. Rip.
I mean, I think that on both sides, there'll be some new music coming out about it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
So we wait and see.
Yes, another bit of relationship news that kind of has the world shook, because Sophia Bush is in a new relationship with Ashlyn Harris. They both had their first date a few weeks ago, and they're both beginning new chapters because they're both recently divorced. So a few weeks ago, Sophia Bush like made waves because she was getting divorced. It didn't really like mean anything to me because I'm not like a follower of hers, and I didn't watch that show she was on.
Yeah.
One Tree Hill.
Yeah, I only know her. I think she's on one of the Chicago Med or something like that. Because that's more my vibe, is like the dramas,
Yeah, no, but like for some people, like Sophia Bush is there.
Beverly Mitchell.
No, stop. That's so funny. Did you watch yesterday's episode of The Toast?
No.
Oh my God, Jackie Schimmel was on, and there was literally a 5-minute conversation about Beverly Mitchell because Jackie Schimmel had just run into her at Erewhon.
Oh, and when she brought Claudia the smoothie, which like that clip I did see, and it was absolutely hilarious.
No, I was going to say like Rachel Bilson,
Yeah,
like
Misha Barton, like that vibe, 100%.
So
Beverly Mitchell is just like maybe 5 years prior.
No, some people's Beverly Mitchell is Sophia Bush. And honestly, for Jackie Schimmel, it was. So people were really shook about the news about her divorce, and And now they're shook once again because she is spending time with professional soccer player Ashlyn Harris. So a source told People that after being friends for years and running in the same circles, Sophia and Ashlyn went out on their first dinner date a couple weeks ago. This is so recent, and they are both beginning new chapters. It's also worth noting that Ashlyn Harris is a female soccer player from the women's soccer national team, and she made waves of her own because she was married to one of her teammates.
Right. And they
got divorced. It began a few months ago, and they've been living apart since the summer. So on both sides, fans of both parties are like, shook by the news.
Yeah. No, this would be another one where I would be interested. I don't know if you have the data, but like on the timeline, because I think I saw that Sophia Bush, she announced her divorce like in the last like 10 days or so, and she had only been married for 13 months. I think, or something like that.
Okay.
And then when was the other divorce announced, and how long were they married for? I guess it doesn't really matter. I think this is great. Listen, ultimately, it kind of goes back to the Maren of it all, which is like, if you're not happy in your relationship, go find your happiness. Like, seriously.
I mean, that doesn't go back to Maren. That would like just be...
No, I'm just saying, I'm trying to tie it together to the first story that goes for everybody everywhere. Like, if you're not happy in your relationship, go find your happiness.
Yeah. Also, Ashlyn has 2 kids with her ex. So there's a lot going on here.
Yeah, there is.
The source said that Sophia and Ashlyn were friends for 10 years and bonded during... Hold on. There's so many... Nope.
There's so many intricacies because the story that I saw was that they went to dinner with Stacey London.
Oh, and
is that in that article?
This was about Sophia and her husband were friends for 10 years and bonded during COVID through their love of community service. So I guess
okay. And then they got married.
Then they got divorced.
Got it. Yeah. Sometimes people are better off being friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm interested to see how this all unfolds, Yeah. Yeah. Like, I feel like the U.S. women's soccer team, we were like such soccer girlies as kids. You guys ever talk about that on the Toast? Like, we did travel soccer every weekend. We were so...
No, because like we all played soccer, but I feel like when I think of soccer, like I don't feel
soccer is us, not Claudia.
Yeah. Even though she played too and Margot played too, but like we played together.
Yeah, and we played a long time.
Yeah, we played until we moved.
High school.
Yeah.
And then we played in high school.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, and we played on the same team.
Yeah. So that's why it's like our thing. No offense, Claudia Margot.
Yeah, but then I went to tennis.
No, but tennis was also our thing.
Was it a different season?
No, but we played all throughout growing up.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, in high school sports, like, my high school sports memories are me playing tennis.
Yeah.
But I guess I played soccer too, but I don't know. It's not as at the forefront of my mind.
Playing tennis in high school isn't as... I think we had to choose. You probably chose tennis and I chose soccer.
I think that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Look at us, sports.
We so
kind of
sporty.
Really sporty,
people
always.
Don't, like... I feel like, also people like say that, but and we don't talk about it that much, but we were so sporty. We were such tomboys.
We wore like sweatbands for
and you
years.
would just never believe it.
You would never believe it.
Because also it's not like we're the sportiest now, but even still, like if I'm, in an intramural league, when that happens, like I'm crushing it. Everyone's always so shocked at how athletic I am.
Yeah, even when we were at AOL, we played
that's
softball, kickball? Both. Yeah. No, totally. I think that...
I met Zach because I was in the intramural corporate league.
100%. We have really always been sports girlies, and also just not to like tie it and make it full circle, but it really is. When you're talking about like intramural leagues, like that just made me think of camp. Like we were so athletic at camp, always playing sports and running and doing things like kids naturally do at camp. So it all ties together.
But we were also like the top of the heap. Like, yeah, sure, everybody has to play sports and like go to sports activities, but like we were, starters, we were captains, like we were those girls.
100%.
And that's worth clarifying.
I think that
we weren't like riding the bench.
No, we were not riding the bench. I was for singles all 4 years of high school. That's why like tennis is so at the forefront of my mind. And now that I'm trying to get back into it, it's like really disappointing how bad I am because I didn't play for 10 years.
Yeah, that's something that goes quickly. Tennis.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, we did a lot of things as kids that we kind of gave up, and I truly regret it. Like piano. We played the piano forever. I can play Heart and Soul.
Yeah.
We were playing like concertos. Like people don't know that you were like a cello teen phenomenon, I
don't know about phenomenon, but
you were
played
phenomenon.
The cello.
But you were so good at it.
I don't remember being like so good.
It was bigger than you.
Yeah, but I just remember like playing, I took my lessons and I was fine.
We were really good. You were really good.
That's really nice.
No, you were.
Thanks.
I think also
Olivia played the clarinet.
Okay, I played the clarinet for 1 year. I played the violin for like 2 years. I played the guitar for 5 years. and I played the piano for like 9 or 10.
But who's counting?
No, because I think about it a lot now where it's like, oh my God, I wish I still had those skills. And even if I just like kept up with it once a month, like I'd be better than the 0 I fucking am now, you know?
Yeah.
And it's also at the forefront of my mind now that I think about like what my kids are going to get into and like, how can I just really prove to them if you do something, like just kind of make it part of your personality and don't just do it and then like drop it when you're 15, because by the time you get to be 32, like you'll regret it, you know?
Yeah.
Life lessons.
Life lessons. Well, our next story is about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, but I have a lot of things to say because Travis, they went out. You saw their weekend in New York City, right?
Some of it, yeah.
So Saturday night, they went to dinner at Nobu. Then they both guested on SNL for a second. Then they went to the after party. On Sunday, he went to the Jets game to see his brother play. He left her apartment. And then they went out to dinner again.
Was he wearing an outfit similar to what you were wearing now when he left out her apartment?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. This is like Jets. What did I say? Jets coded.
Yeah.
AKA, it's Jets colors.
Yeah. No, honestly, there's so much it's hard to keep up with. That's why I'm like and now that you're repeating everything, I'm like, okay, yes, I saw Nobu. I heard about SNL. I didn't see it. I saw him coming out of her apartment in a green kind of like tracksuit vibe, I think.
So
it's like hard to keep up because it's everywhere, but I don't even like effing know what's going on.
Well, what's the craziest thing about it? Like, of course, he's the best tight end in the league, but he's also a podcaster. And so every week he has to do a podcast with his brother and like talk about their lives. So like every week he is like addressing things that are happening. And so he talked about, he's denying pushing her security guard because in the videos of them walking, like he lightly taps the security guard. He said, I didn't push him. I placed my hand on the gentleman's back to let him know I was behind him. And also like to let him know like, bro, I'm taking the lead here. He said, if I would have pushed him, he probably would have turned around and tased me 100%.
Yeah. No, can we go back to the podcast for a second?
Yes, and I also just want to talk about the brothers Kelce because I just started the documentary Kelce, which you watched and that you loved.
Yeah.
And I also want to get your layperson's opinion of this couple.
Yeah, okay, so much to unpack there, so let me start. I'll start with the brothers Kelce because truthfully, the funny thing, and I don't know how far you are in the documentary, so just let me speak freely, okay?
That's fine. Yeah. It's not really going to be spoiled.
They really started the documentary
about Jason,
the brother, because he was like going to retire.
Yeah.
And so the documentary is really about him like figuring out, you know, his post-retirement life strategy. So they started the podcast thinking that the podcast was going to be like something for him to do after he wasn't going to play. So it's like, it's just so funny how like life happens that way, because now I think they're more in the spotlight than ever before. And they have this platform, which I think is great because you get to hear from them directly, first person wise, on everything that's going on instead of all the media speculation with like fake information. My real question on this entire situation though, getting back to Travis, is like, really? It makes me think that they've been together a lot longer than people think.
Because they're being so public now?
It just happens so fast, you know? There's just like, you know, and you know, like when you're dating somebody new, like you try to keep it under wraps because you don't know where it's going to go. Like, I just feel like for both of them, you know, obviously he had his own show and has been very open about like dating in his life, but like she is the complete freaking opposite. So something to me makes me feel like they have been hanging out for a while. And when he put his tweet out, I think it was a tweet about, you know, wanting to see her on tour, like that kind of got the...
They were hanging out before that?
Yes, I do.
Oh.
I do.
I don't think so. And typically I would agree with you. Like they need to be together and like, you know, very solid for a long time before they're going to go public. That's how I feel about like Kylie and Timothy. Like but I don't feel that way about this. Like I feel like they had a few dates. They really enjoyed each other. And there's no really keeping this under wraps, especially if she like wants to go to his games and like try and have like a normalish relationship and support her boyfriend.
Right.
And I think that they're both also, I think they're so into each other and just like in this like honeymoon phase. And they're also loving how much people are loving it. And it's like, you know what? Why not date publicly? Even if it ends badly, it was fun while it lasted. It's so much fun. Yeah. It's fun for everyone.
Listen, I see both sides. I think that it could be 100% both. That is just like one conspiracy, I guess, that I feel could be true because of just the way that it absolutely happened so overnight. And it's not even that, yes, it's so public. It's her, Taylor, being with his mom in the box. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, you don't really meet someone's parents a week after dating them, or a month even, like it's so fast on so many levels.
Yeah.
But I do think it's really fun. I think it's like exciting. I think, listen, I'm not from the Swifties. Like I like her music, but I'm just not, I didn't go to her concert. And I think like what she does is great. Like, don't get me wrong. Like I like her music. But my personality is like, I'm not super fan dummy, so like, I'm just not like, unless I'm a Swiftie. No, I just like, sync. I like unless it's in sync. Are they going back on tour? Did that come out? So I
think they're putting out feelers. Like they put out this song.
I will be in the front row.
You will.
Jackie,
the Stanhood lives on.
I will get a Game Time tickets and I will fucking be there.
Wow. Okay. Well, you know what? That's actually a great segue to our next story if we put Taylor and Travis to bed.
Yeah, no, the one thing I wanted to address about Taylor and Travis is I love that the Beckham documentary came out as this is going on, because it's literally the equivalent 20 years ago without social media. And it's just so interesting.
I had the same thought when I just watched Beckham.
Played out without with just like the traditional media amplifying it versus like today's day and age and like social media helping to amplify it. But I remember like I was ride or die Spice Girls also. I was like 7 or 8 when they were dating, and like I remember where I was. Like I remember the feeling, but like there was no access to news. It was like you're like reading the newspaper. Well, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just something that you knew was happening, and it felt like epic and awesome, because really, and it's so funny because the documentary is so much about him, but like she was like the star for all of us, like,
yeah, we're all like watching for her, us girlies.
Yeah, 100%. So we can also talk about the Beckham documentary, another one that I absolutely loved.
I just finished it. It was so good. I had the same thought that like Posh and Becks are like Taylor and Travis, and so it would be the equivalent of Taylor and Travis getting married, having 4 children, and being together for over 20 years. Like, that's fucking crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah, no, it's absolutely crazy.
My gut is that that's not going to happen, but I would love to be wrong about that.
100%. 100%. Well, and the reason why is because you can actually see what a good marriage that David and Victoria have, despite the highs and lows that they've had, and honestly, I thought that the documentary did a really good job of like, I think that Victoria Beckham is like such an incredible woman and mom. Like what she like put up with so that her husband could live his dream, even though she was a huge star. And then also I felt like the documentary actually didn't really give her a chance to talk about how she's like built this incredible fashion line and is still like, just as big, a very big name on her own. But it all also all the stories are tied together because it goes back to soccer. I feel like David Beckham coming here and playing soccer just made like soccer cool all around. Because that's like not really our sport in America.
No, it's so crazy how the whole world and I was reading a lot of the experts who are on Beckham, like if you read their titles, it's like they wrote books like about the history of soccer, you know, how soccer explains the world, like how soccer is a part of world wars, like they stop wars to play their soccer game. Yeah. And like for us here in the US, it's just like irrelevant ugly.
Literally. We're like football.
And we're obsessed with football.
Yeah.
Do you think that there will ever be a successful US soccer endeavor? They're trying in Miami right now.
They're trying in Miami.
Like that's how the documentary ends. David is a part of the Miami team. They have Lionel Messi. He just won the World Cup. He's the biggest soccer player. But he's leaving
in 2025. Like he already said he's done. He's here for 2 years and he's out. No, I just think not re-signing.
Okay.
I think he's just going like back to Europe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of excitement for it. The pink jerseys and stuff.
Yeah. No, they've done a really good job branding wise. It's like electric.
But you just can't get people to care. Like getting people to care about things that they don't care about is really impossible.
Yeah. But that's why I think it's so funny because growing up, like soccer is such a core sport for kids to play. Yeah.
I mean, that's also like lacrosse. Like talk about a dead end.
Right. The professional leagues are nada. But I actually think, whereas I don't know about lacrosse, but like soccer feels like it has an opportunity right now.
Right now, but also in general, like there is, soccer at the Olympics. Like you can have a professional career in soccer. I do think like professional lacrosse players also have other jobs.
Oh, they do. I think that they make more of their money from their job than they do paying.
Yeah, it's like a hobby. Yeah, but it's like growing up, like it's the most competitive sport, and then it just peters out. Even in college, it's pretty competitive. Like depending on where you go to school.
100%. Yeah, no, it's weird. I don't get
nothing waiting for you.
Yeah. And I feel like people have tried. Like, I think there's a PLL. Is that like the Professional Lacrosse League?
Yeah, but that's also like when David Beckham went to the Galaxy and he was playing with guys who like, this is their part-time job and they also, clean pools.
100%.
And they were saying like David Beckham's like playing with the pool cleaner.
Yeah. But I think that's where you have to get like brands and fans. You have to build like, sports is such a business, and it's not just because they were talking a lot about like even the salary cap, like they didn't have money to pay people. You have to get brands involved. They have to sponsor the stadiums. You have to get people to buy tickets. Like it's got to be like a whole ordeal.
I feel like all of that business stuff is easier than getting fans to care.
I would agree.
Because you like can't pay for that.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that episode of Mad Men when that guy hired like the Don and the boys to do advertising because he was like trying to make a sports league of his like dumb sports game. Do you remember that?
No.
Hold on. It was like,
I need to rewatch Mad Men. I really loved that show. Oh my God,
it's so good. It's such a good rewatch.
I watched it like just so long ago.
I watched it probably 6 years ago, so I'm not ready for a rewatch. But it's so good. The suitcase.
Well, anyways, it
was just a random sport. Say it was like pickleball, and like someone like was literally wanted to pay them like millions of dollars to like advertise for their sport to like make people care. And
pickleball is another really interesting one because that's actually like people care about it, but there's no business around it.
Yeah, there's no like official leagues. It's not an Olympic sport, is it?
I don't think so.
I feel like it actually might become one. They added a bunch of sports recently, like skateboarding and.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, and I feel like you actually have a better shot of like becoming an Olympic sport.
Yeah.
They'll really give you anything over at the Olympics.
There's another Olympics
except lacrosse.
next year. That's so exciting.
I know, in Paris. Actually, I think lacrosse might be an Olympic sport.
Is lacrosse very much an American sport? The thing about the Olympics is that it has to be a global sport.
That's
we
true.
Don't play croquet here, like it has to be something
like,
that people play
football is
everywhere.
not an Olympic sport.
Right, because like we only play it here and they're still trying to make fetch happen in London and it's just not happening 10 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like, I don't even know if it's been 10 years, but there's always a London game.
Yeah.
Because like as a girly with a husband that ride or dies for football, like that your Sundays from September through February are shot to hell. But really Eastern Standard Time, it doesn't start until 1. So you can have your morning. With these fucking London games, now the 9 a.m. start or 10 a.m. start. And it's like, give us a fucking break.
Yeah.
Sundays and Mondays and Thursdays. And then with college football, you have Fridays and Saturdays. And it's like, when are we supposed to watch Love is Blind?
It's so true. Even though now
Did you watch Love
Claudia
is Blind
and
this season?
I watched in the background of Zach, so I know some of the storylines. Because he was always watching it. I would like sometimes tune in, tune out. But also now that Claudia and I are like football fans, it's kind of like not enough football. Like so many nights we're like, is football on tonight? No. Ugh.
Oh my God.
Like I'm really not only have sports just
there's only like 2 nights right now that football isn't on. I think it's like Tuesday.
And we're craving it. Honestly, I find football right now, like first of all, the sports teams have just been like so solidly standing with Israel. And so I stand with anyone who does 100%. That. But even before that, it's very like kind of mind numbing, like to just watch it. And maybe that's why the men like it. And it's like almost like therapeutic. Like
it's very American.
No, it's like, I don't know. It was calming, weirdly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Because usually everyone's like, hoorah, it's like, go get him.
Not for me. I'm like,
oh,
you do your thing, boys. You play beautiful ball. Now, are you ready for our next story, which I need to get your take on?
Is this number 4 or number 5?
This is number 4.
Okay, great.
Justin Timberlake is all over the news as Britney Spears' memoir, Bombshells, continue to be revealed. Yesterday, it was revealed. I know Claudia and Jackie S. spoke about it. She talked about why she shaved her head. She talked about the fact that she had an abortion when she was dating Justin Timberlake. Yeah. And now she's accusing him of cheating on her with another celebrity in her explosive memoir after revealing that she had an abortion with the singer at 19. So Britney has accused Justin of cheating on her during their 3-year relationship. The singer made the claims in the upcoming memoir, The Woman in Me, which will be published on October 24th. Britney, who dated Justin from 1999 to 2002, didn't name the person he cheated on her with, referring to her as another celebrity. According to TMZ, the star also said in her book she did not wish to name the woman because they have a family and she doesn't want to embarrass them. That's nice.
That is so nice.
Not so much grace for him, though.
No.
So this, I think we all knew that Justin Timberlake would be running and hiding when this memoir came out. So far, it's really not good for him. Also, I haven't read like the whole excerpt nor the whole book, obviously, because it's not out yet. But when she talked about the abortion, like she said that like Justin didn't want to have a baby, and that
Right,
he
I saw
said that
that.
we're not ready for parents. I don't know how she felt about it.
Right.
But like, that's not a great look for him. And then also like cheater, pumpkin eater.
Yeah.
I
think the reason why, I think that relationship, obviously, I don't know Britney, but I think it did a lot of damage for her, and like she was so young and thrown into the limelight in such a major way. And I honestly really feel for her deeply. Like, I just think that I can't wait to read her book. I love a celebrity memoir. I don't read much, but
You're
like
gonna read
I
the
would
book?
100%. I will.
This
read
is
it.
making me, when it was all coming out that she was writing a book, and really it was like her talking to a therapist and like someone recording everything, because
Yeah.
like she's not really writing it, admittedly.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not interested. But now I'm becoming more interested in hearing like her story and the circumstances that led her to where she is right now.
Yeah, 100%. And I think for us, when we were kids, she was the biggest. She was like the Taylor Swift. She was the biggest star on the planet. And so it's interesting to hear about. And it was the same with the Jessica Simpson memoir, because some of the things that she talked about, like I remember being, 9, 10 years old, and like, what I saw versus what she actually experienced and all of those things. So I definitely will be reading it. And I honestly just really feel for Britney. And I think that I'm glad that she's getting the opportunity to tell her story. Listen, if she says didn't Justin Timberlake cheat on Jessica Biel?
Yeah, he was holding another woman's hand on a movie shoot.
Something in New Orleans, I feel like.
They were like out.
So I don't know. Where there's smoke, there's fire, maybe. Obviously, I'm not going to say whether he's a cheater or not, because I don't know. But I am ultimately glad that Britney is able to tell her story, her experience, how she viewed it. I think it's going to be, very cathartic for her. And I think that she feels like she hasn't been able to have a voice for a very long time. So I'm glad that she's getting the opportunity to do so. And I would imagine, there were a lot of crazy things that happened in that time frame, that there must be a lot of crazy stories behind the scenes because of it, right?
Yeah.
So
no, I'm changing my tune. I'm going to read this book, and I'm taken back to how I felt like Jessica Simpson's book when it was announced she was writing a book. Like, I didn't have a thought one way or the other, but in the weeks leading up to the book coming out, we had stories every day about things that were coming out from the book, and it was so interesting.
Yeah.
And I read the book, and it was one of the best books I've ever read. So
Agreed.
I'm going to give Brit that same chance. Like, they've pulled me in. Congratulations.
100%.
PR machine. You did it.
You did it.
How does this make you feel about Justin being an NSYNC stan, and the stanhood, as you said, still lives? Like, where does this fit into that?
Well, one thing interesting to know about me is that I'm not a Justin Timberlake NSYNC ride or die girly. I am a JC Chazé all the way.
Yeah. That's a handsome man.
Yeah, I don't know. He was always like my favorite. Like my school binder folders, it was just like photos of him. Like,
and who was your favorite from Backstreet Boys?
Jackie, I was not a Backstreet Boys fan. But if I had to pick someone, it would have been Brian. Okay, Jackie, do you just want me to admit that
That's what I was waiting for. Thank you.
But yeah, no, I love JC. Justin wasn't my favorite. And it's so funny, like when I think about NSYNC, like I actually don't think about him. Like I think about JC, I think about Lance, I think about Joey Fatone.
Lance.
Like they're killer, amazing people. And Justin Timberlake is just not really on the radar for me as much as like you would think, just knowing that of course in the band he was the star, but I wasn't into the star.
That's so funny.
I also just wonder though the nature of his relationship with the other guys, Well, I feel like they're all still friendly.
They are, and they're working together again. I think they're like kind of putting feelers out to see if people are interested. The Backstreet
People are
Boys
interested.
Have
People
had a
are
lot
interested.
of success, and I also think him like kind of hiding behind his bandmates right now at a time when like he's about to become very unpopular. But then the nostalgia of NSYNC like kind of will buoy that negative press that he's going to get from this memoir. I think it's a little calculated, and it's not the worst idea.
It's definitely calculated. I mean, I don't know who even knows what he was going through then, just being 19, 20 years old, like thrown into the limelight as well.
Factual. He should write a memoir.
Were they in Mickey Mouse Club together?
Yes.
Yeah. So like God knows what they've been through,
Yeah, he should write a memoir.
Chazé, can you look up all the people that were in Mickey Mouse Club together? It's such a wild, interesting list.
Yeah, it's like Ryan Gosling, Jessica Simpson.
Yep.
You obviously
Britney, Justin. There's some other people that are big names that you would never know. I think
Christina Aguilera.
Yeah, but this is either going to be 100% wrong or 100% right. Kerry Russell.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
which is so interesting because you would never think about her in like a song or dance sort of way.
Right.
She's just a straight up serious actress, Felicity.
Yeah.
and Americans, which is a good show.
Yeah, so far we've got everyone. Now the rest of these people, I don't know them.
Yeah, I think I looked it up recently. I think Carrie Russell was like the shocker.
Yeah, she was there.
Can you imagine? You know each other since what? You're like 12, 13. Then you're hoisted into the limelight. Then you're in a relationship. You have all these people like controlling your every move. You know, you just don't even know the mental state of any of these people at that moment in time. But I think that it obviously greatly impacted Britney, and rightfully so. And I'm excited to read the story from her perspective.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Now it's time for our fifth and final story. Some more relationship news.
Oh, wow.
Real Housewives of New York alum Tinsley Mortimer is engaged
I saw that.
to Robert Bovard, and she's getting married next month.
Mazel tov.
The Tins is engaged, and she's getting married in less than a month. Sources close to the socialite tell Page Six that she's betrothed to one Robert Bovard, and they'll be getting hitched in Palm Beach. Mortimer was the center of the celebrity social scene in the early 2000s, and she went on to star in Bravo's Real Housewives of New York City, which is how, we've been talking about her recently. Obviously, there was Tinsley and Scott. She was engaged to him. We really thought she found her happy ending. She did not, but now it seems that she has.
Is it a businessman beau?
It is, because he seems to be pretty low key. He's somewhat of a mystery. He proposed with an emerald engagement ring, but it's unclear how long they've been dating or even exactly when he proposed. But they're getting married in a month, and I'm just really happy for Tinsley to get married.
Me too. Now, let me ask you a question. Is she Tinsley Mortimer? Mortimer is a married name, right?
Mortimer's her married name, yeah.
So is she going to be Tinsley Bovard?
I think so. I think that would be the most respectful to her new husband, like instead of keeping her old husband's name. Right. Or maybe she'll be like
Tinsley Mortimer Bovard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we know her as Tinsley Mortimer.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
But also the name Tinsley is unique enough that she could change her last name and we know who they were talking about.
100%. Yeah, she's like one name wonder vibes for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't really, and I still don't keep up with Real Housewives of New York, but I'm, again, just happy for anybody finding their happiness.
You're so I
am. Listen, it's like,
it's hard out here. Especially she's really been through it. The saga of her and Scott. He was a businessman beau.
I don't know.
They met while she was on the show. Carol introduced them. We actually saw their first date on the show.
Cute.
They were such a cute couple. He seemed so into her and she was so into him.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't really commit to her, but then he finally did, and then they broke up because he lives in Chicago, and then they got back together and she was like, fuck it, I'm moving to Chicago. She left Real Houses of New York. He proposed to her, she's living in his penthouse in Chicago, the fairy tale come true. She's the exception, not the rule. And then they split again.
Oh no.
Yeah. So she's really been through it.
Yeah, for sure. So yes, I'm very happy for her.
Yeah,
Mazel tov.
Yeah, happy for Tins.
Yeah.
Okay, so now it is time for Dear Toasters, our weekly advice segment. I've got Trout Skin here to help give advice. Before
people want to know why you call me Trout Skin, by the way.
Oh, this is an easy one. When we were younger, her name is Olivia, obviously, so I called her Oliver. And then I thought the orphan Oliver Twist, I thought it was Oliver Trout for a second, so I was just calling her Trout. I realized quickly that it was Oliver Twist, but Trout stuck. And then we watched a lot of Hannah Montana at that time, and she was prattling on about Trout Skin. That's so Miley Stewart. So once I heard Trout Skin on Hannah Montana, I started calling her Trout Skin. The nickname lay dormant for about 15 years, but then when I moved down here and we're spending all this time together, I just got back into calling you Trout.
Yeah.
And it's really been a blessing and a joy.
Totally. Yeah, no, people are it's disgusting. I'm you don't even know the origin story.
Okay, I call my sisters Trout Skin, Snitch, and Turdy. Take your pick.
Yeah.
Each one is worse than the next.
I think Trout Skin is actually the best of them all. No, Turdy really is.
Oh, but Turdy's a turd.
Yeah.
I think Turdy's the worst.
I know, but it's
she
just
loves it.
Yeah, it's so cute.
It's so funny. I wonder what I would call myself if I was in charge of my own nickname.
I just call you Juger. You don't really have.
I don't have a nickname because I make the nicknames.
Yeah, you do. You're the nickname girl.
So I wonder what my nickname would be.
Yeah.
If someone else was the nickname person.
Yeah.
Makes you think. Well, Dear Toasters and today's episode are brought to you by AG1. And I'm so glad Olivia is here on this episode because
AG1.
she could do the ad read because she is AG1's #1 fan.
Yes, I am.
So AG1 has everything that you need. for your day. You drink AG1 in the morning. It could be before a workout, while you're making your coffee. It's just a great way to start your day and will make you feel unstoppable, ready to take on the day, ready to go, like you're doing something good for your body. So AG1 is a foundational nutrition supplement that delivers comprehensive nutrients to support whole body health. It has so many greens, nutrients, everything. You put it in your bottle with water, shake it up Chicago, down it, and it gives you everything that you need for the day. Can you tell me about your experience with AG1? Because I'm literally sitting here with AG1's number one fan.
I literally cannot wait for the code because I buy a full boat myself because I'm obsessed.
Oh, okay. I'm glad to share.
I am actually AG1's number 2 fan, and AG1's number 1 fan is my husband, Zach Shapiro. Like, there will literally he will never miss a day. Like, he will never miss a day. We live for AG1. It's so crazy because ever since we started taking it, it's unbelievable. You can really feel the difference. Like, you just feel brighter, like more mental clarity, like everything flows better. And, you know, I think as a 30-something, it's not always easy to get all of your vitamins. And you know, it's just super important for all the reasons why you need all the different vitamins. But you're not going to go, there. I think like 75 vitamins and nutrients in AG1, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to go take 75 pills.
Right.
So like, you have this like green juice essentially in the morning. You know you're doing good for your body, and then you start the day. Like, I just literally, when we went to New York for Charlie's Bris, we didn't bring AG1 with us, and Zach made Margot bring it
because she had it at her apartment. Yeah. But you know, they also have single serving AG1 travel packs.
Now I have that, and I have the drops as well. No, I have everything. It's laid out like
it's perfect.
There's my coffee bar is like coffee, and then there's AG1 and high vitamins, and the vitamins are for the kids and the AG1 is for Zach and I, and that's like the morning setup. Like, everybody just take your vitamins, drink your coffee, move on with your day. I
love it. So if you want to take ownership of your health, try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. Go to drinkag1.com/toast. That's drinkag1.com/toast. Check it out.
Wow, my husband's going to be so fucking excited.
Also, today's episode is brought to you by The Farmer's Dog. So the results of switching your dog's food from kibble to fresh can seem like magic when a senior dog starts acting like a puppy again, and the pickiest of eaters can't wait for dinner time. You might think some spells were cast. But The Farmer's Dog doesn't use any sorcery or secret ingredients to make their fresh food, just science. So if you don't know The Farmer's Dog, it makes and delivers fresh, healthy dog food. It's developed by vets, nutritionally balanced, and made from real healthy ingredients to human food safety standards. It's the best option for dogs at all life stages because it's not kibble, it's not canned goo, it's just real healthy food. So I actually was seeing these Farmer's Dog videos where they show you like how kibble gets made and also like why people started making kibble to begin with, and it's really disgusting.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And it's like, we love our Strice brethren. Why not Strice eating fresh, healthy food? Like, it's a no-brainer. Once you realize it, you're like, oh, duh.
100%. I obviously don't have a dog, but I've heard like amazing things.
Amazing things. Shinier coat, better smelling breath, feeling younger, more vibrant. It's so great
like
for your dog.
for dogs.
Literally. It doesn't matter if your dog is young or old. It's always the right time to begin investing in their health, helping you live more healthy, happy, and full years together. Also, the Farmer's Dog commercials just like could bring a tear to the eye.
Totally.
That means more magical moments with your dog, but no actual magic required. Get 50% off your first box of fresh, healthy food at thefarmersdog.com/toast. Plus, you get free shipping. Just go to thefarmersdog.com/toast. Go to thefarmersdog.com/toast to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's a great deal. Thank you.
Is.
Thank you to our sponsors. Now it is time.
Great sponsors.
We do our best. We do all right.
Yeah, well, you know why? It's because I feel like there's so many great brands out there, and those are like 4 amazing brands and like perfect representation of all things that are toasty. So I love that.
Thanks.
Well,
Dear Toasters is our advice segment where we take your advice questions and we give our advice on your advice questions. You can submit to deartoasters@gmail.com or at thetoastpodcast.com. We have a submission box.
And you can take our advice or not, you know?
Yeah, take it or leave it.
Yep.
First up, hi Jackson McClurd, asterisk,
Olivia.
Troutskin. Let's bust the elephant in the room. How many girlies are out here on NFL Sunday having a day of football, watching with their friends/PJoms, and have absolutely no idea what the fuck is going on? I'm like, not a girl to be like, I'm not like other girls, of course. I mean, I like football, have been around it, grown up watching it with my dad my whole entire life. but I could not explain anything to you beyond the basic logistics of the game to save my life. Am I stupid? Also, how do men memorize the name, draft year, college, asshole color of every player? I don't get it. I'm stressed. I'm insecure in a social football setting because I have nothing intelligent to contribute. I guess I'm just asking for a gauge here from the toasters across the nation. How much of watching football is knowing what's going on for real, and how much is pretending to know? Also, bonus advice, how do you play it well at pretending to know?
What a great Dear Toasters. I feel like I'm the perfect person to answer this because there are a lot of questions in there. So I want to make sure we address them all. So field, right? Basically what football is about is you're trying to get from one end of the field to the other.
I think she must surmise that. Okay.
I'm just starting from the beginning. Okay. And you have two different ways you can score. You can score a touchdown, which is 6 points, and then you kick for an extra point, 7. Or you could just kick a field goal and you get 3 points. Essentially, the way to get down the field is you have 4 downs or 4 tries to go 10 yards. So first down or first and 10 is your first try to get to 10. If you then get a second down, second and 5, that means it's your second try within the 4 trying to get the rest of that 5. So everything is about you have 4 tries to get 10 yards. And you're just trying to get 10, 10, 10, 10, 10 all the way down to get to the other end of the field to score. Now, sometimes you will be at 3rd and 7 or 3rd and long, right? And essentially, if you don't get to the marker that you need to get to, you will be at 4th down. And what happens most time on 4th down is the team doesn't take their 4th chance. They just then kick the ball to the other team, because if you go on 4 and you don't get the yardage that you need, so let's say it's 4th and 3 and you need 3 yards, but you don't get it, then the team gets the ball from exactly where you left off. So what you're always trying to think about is the position of the other team to score, and then you're taking basically 3 or 4 attempts to get all the way down the field. Now, the one thing that I'll say about football is it is very confusing, and it's like, who came up with that? I always think about that when I'm watching football. I'm like, who came up with these rules and these attempts and all of these things?
You know what's confusing to me?
Yeah.
So on the TV, they show you the line of like what they need to get past.
Yeah.
But like, how do the players know where it is? Because like they're always fighting on the line that's like CGI.
You know what? It's so funny. I asked Zach that, and I think like that's just what makes you good at the game. It's the same way when you play tennis and you know like exactly how hard to hit it so that it stays in the baseline. It's like they know where the marker is in their mind. They like know how they basically know where they need to get to.
Okay,
you know?
Cool.
But I think the more you watch, the more you learn. You know, I think ultimately a lot of people don't really understand the nuances of everything that's going on, and I most certainly don't. But again,
I really appreciate your your stab at explaining. I kind of got lost in the middle, but also I'm not so interested in learning. So for this girl, one, listen to Olivia's recap, and maybe that will help.
I hope it was helpful. It's hard to explain. You know,
I mean, it's so confusing. Like I have a basic understanding, but when it comes to the first and 10s and downs, I don't. That's where they lose me. But I don't really care to know more. I'll just let the announcers explain. But what I will say, a good piece of advice, so often Zach has his sports shows, commentary shows playing in the background of our lives. He likes Colin Cowherd, which I don't like. He also watches PTI every day. And I'm not saying you need to go and watch those shows, but I get so many talking points for this show from overhearing it from those shows. Or even if you're watching the game, they have the commentators just chiming in about what's going on with the players. And I get a lot of information that way. So that's a good way to fake it, because then you could be like, oh, I heard, Christian McCaffrey, I did hear Christian McCaffrey said that Kyle Juszczyk is a fixer of the game. He'll see the whole field and the whole team, and he'll figure out a way to fix what's fucked up in their lineup. Good to know. Also, I remember, you can make interesting trade news based on real estate acquisitions. I remember it was rumored someone was going to one team because he bought a house there. It's just, I would pick up on that. And then of course, Charity and I always love the celebrity element. You can just watch the game, who's dating a celeb, start chatting. Well,
I think what's also the thing that I wanted to say that I thought was really interesting is how do they know every player, what team they played on, what team they previously played on, what freaking college they went to, and just think about it in the terms of The Bachelor, right? Think about how many literally dozens of Bachelor contestants. You know how far they got. Like,
and we only watch them like for 3 months and one season.
Yeah, and like because they're watching every single week, they're reading news about it, they're listening to podcasts about it, they're watching, sports commentator programs about it. Like, this is basically, not to make like an even comparison, but this is basically like their Bachelor, so they know the ins and outs of it, and also, that's why they're able to memorize all the information.
Real Housewives is also a good touch point, and it's also like we know The Bachelor, Real Housewives, Vanderpump Rules, every Love Is Blind cast member, like all these shows that we watch, and like you can name the person, how many Instagram followers, what they're up to.
That's what they do with football.
What they do. Yeah. And they've been doing it since they were young. And they actually watch like way more hours of their people than we watch of ours.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Also, it will be helpful that now that the Toast is a sports broadcast, like you can get some information here.
Yeah. And football is really like, it is difficult to explain. I think the more that you watch it, the more that you will learn. But there's always there's a lot of things that are so unclear. Safety, this.
I just feel like you don't have to get into the weeds of the game. There are so many like ancillary things about football that you could be contributing to, like a football chili. Maybe you bring your chili and it's about your chili.
Yeah,
you
but
can
maybe
make
this person really wants to like understand football. Like she wants to be a football girly,
Yeah. But I just feel like there are other ways to like fudge it and get involved in the game without like knowing the
drink
downs.
the spritz,
Yeah. So like bring the spritzes to the game watching party, talk about the celebrity connections, regurgitate something that you heard on a sports broadcast. Barstool has a lot of sports shows, and I think those guys are funny, so that's like a good funny thing.
My husband listens to Part of My Take every day. That's like his.
Do you hear it because he's listening to it? Where
sometimes,
does he listen?
But he is very respectful. Like when we get in the car and his phone automatically plays, he has to change it to either The Little Mermaid or Beauty and the Beast in order to be a functioning member of our car.
No, I'm always having like Colin Cowherd in my head.
I've never even heard of that person.
Yes, you have.
No,
he's
I haven't.
Such a huge sports guy.
Really?
And Zach always watches him, and I just like really, I don't know why I do not like him, and I think his takes stink. Honestly,
I mean. Except honestly, respect. Like I feel you. I don't even know him, but yeah,
he does a segment that I respect, and it's like sports people, they make all their predictions, and sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong. And he does a segment called "Where Colin Was Right and Where Colin Was Wrong." Like just
I love the self-awareness.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
you definitely know this guy. He does the show The Hurd with Colin Cowherd. I'm going to show you a picture. I don't,
but show me a picture.
He's a nice looking guy.
I only know Scott Hansen from NFL Red Zone. Never seen him in my life.
Wow.
What channel? ESPN?
Yeah, I think so. It's like one of the biggest shows.
My husband will be disappointed in me, but it is what it is.
Okay, next one. Dear Jackson, Claude, * Liv. I live for Dear Toasters. I'm actually in a situation where I need to write in for help. Okay. My dad has always told me that he'll pay for my wedding as long as I don't live with my fiance before we get married. Well, I got engaged in August and my lease for my apartment ends in November. We don't get married until June 2024, and he never fails to remind us that we can't live together until we're married. So I have two choices. One, respect my dad's wishes and move in with a friend or my brother for 7 months so I can still go stay with my fiance whenever I want. Or two, tell my dad to fuck off and move in with my fiance since he already gave me the wedding money. I want my wedding paid for, but I want to be an independent as a 27-year-old and live my life without feeling like my parents still control my life. Please help. Ooh. I think like both options are totally fine. Yeah. Personally, like when I was engaged and wasn't gonna like get into a new solo apartment, but wasn't going to move in with Zach until we were married, I moved home. So that would be the equivalent of like you living with your brother or a friend. And it was nice. I spent all my time. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Zach and I.
You were living together when you got engaged?
Yeah, but we couldn't live together until we got engaged. So until we got engaged, I lived at home because I wasn't going to get another apartment on my own.
Right.
So this is just like a little bit further down the road. But I think it's like, I think if you already have the wedding money, like sure, you could shirk what your dad says, but
yeah, but like, do you really want to have like drama with your dad? No, especially not around your wedding, which is a happy time. I think, listen, if it's so beyond important to you to live with your fiance before you're married, then you should just really sit down with your dad and just lay out your points. Like, this is why it's important to me. And I think just being really respectful and say, I really respect why you feel the way that you do. And I just want to explain my side of like why this is important to me or why I feel strongly.
I think that's fruitless. Like her dad feels this way. He's felt this way forever. It's always been the rule. Like trying to change his mind. I
know, but sometimes there's nuance there, right? Because like if your dad really likes the guy that she's with, you know what I mean? Like he's a good guy. Like I wouldn't just take the money and run because I just don't think that that's going to let you have a good relationship with your dad in the future?
Personally, I would play by the rules. I would wait the 7 months. I'd move in with a friend or a brother, spend all my time at my fiance's.
The one other thing here is like, do you need your dad's money for the wedding? You know?
Even if she could do it on her own, it's super helpful to have help.
I mean, of course. I'm just saying, like, you know, weigh all the options.
Yeah, I would play by the rules. It's 7 months. It's not a big deal, and it'll mean a lot to your dad. I think you could do it.
I think so too. I'm also a fan of sit down with your dad and just give it one last hoorah, you know?
Yeah.
Even if it's fruitless, you know, I just think sometimes just having like a face-to-face conversation, like, this is important to me. I understand your point. I think people just like want to be understood and heard. And then obviously everybody can go and make their own decisions, but keep us posted.
Yeah, they do sometimes. Next one, Jackson Turdy Lou * Trout Skin Lou. Longtime listener, I truly think of you girlies as part of my family. I listen so often. Thank you. I need your help. My husband is an engineer and tells these very technical stories that seem to never end. How do I respectfully tell him to shut the fuck up and not discuss at length these granular, detailed, horrifically specific, and boring stories about work without being a bitch of a wife? We've been married 5 years, together for 10. He's a pea-jam in all other aspects of life.
Oh,
I think you just have to like grin and bear it. I don't know how you could say that. Like, one, without hurting his feelings, and two, with being effective. Like, people are the way that they are.
I was just going to say, men are horrific at like telling stories.
But the thing is,
details.
I have the opposite issue. Like, I only get like, if I'm like, what's the tea? What happened? Like, I get one word. So, you know, we all have our crosses to bear.
Telling me a story literally yesterday about work, and like both of the women like had the same name, and he like wasn't distinguishing between them, and I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know, like, I just feel like men are really shitty communicators, whether they over communicate or under communicate. And I think maybe it might be helpful for you to like just tell your husband, like, I really like, feel free to tell me all these stories all the time, but like, I don't actually understand what you're talking about.
That's not what she, like, I don't think it's about understanding. It's like she's bored to tears.
No, I know, but like.
And also, if he takes more time to explain, like, that's a longer story.
That's worse. Yeah.
I feel like you could, I think this is something you just have to accept. But sometimes you could be like, what's the gist? Or like, what's the bottom line? TLDR me.
It's kind of like those friends that you have, and I know you know exactly who I'm talking about, when like you call them and you straight up just leave the phone and put it on mute and walk away. You know, but obviously you can't do that.
I've never done that.
Oh my God. That's what are you doing?
I'm not super close with people who like tell dreadful stories, because like that is a pet peeve of mine.
I'll tell you who I do that with, because like I just cannot. But that's besides the point. Point is, if you have an amazing husband and this is his fatal flaw, then you probably, girly, have to suck it up, because it could be 10,000 times worse.
I agree.
And I think it's actually very sweet that he wants to tell you every nitty gritty shitty detail of his day.
Ultimately, it's a sweet trait, and that he wants to like explain these technical things so that like you understand and that you feel invested.
Can like have these conversations like while you're cooking or like doing laundry, so like you can pretend you're listening but you're not actually.
And you could also like be being productive. It's not like you just like lost all this time.
Right, just sitting there on the couch like listening to granularity about engineering.
Yeah.
I mean, it would bore me to tears too. I get it. I would be like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
No, but he sounds like such a great guy. Listen, like, would you rather this be his fatal flaw or something else?
It's true. You know, there's
boring
always something.
is wonderful, you know?
It is. It's a luxury.
It is a luxury. So best of luck to you too. But like, hang on to this one. He sounds like a good guy.
He does. You know? But I'm sure, it can be
maybe you
taxing.
Can hook up with the girl who initially wrote in about football, and her husband can give a granular description.
They can talk to each other.
Yeah, about, all the details. No, I'm kidding.
Yes, well, thank you so much, Trout Skin.
It's
over. So, let everyone know where they can follow you, engage with your life if they want more Trout.
I hope you do. It would be at Olivia Oshry on Instagram. I am not on TikTok because I am too old and I don't know how to use it.
Do you scroll on? Do you have like a TikTok that you consume?
Yeah, user 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Yep, that's me, 100%. But I still see the same content on Reels like 2 weeks later. So
is it really 2 weeks as someone who like does both?
I would say it's it's like 8 days. And the reason why I know that is because my husband then sends me stuff and I'm like, I saw this already, you know, and it's really just usually a little over a week out.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, no, at Olivia Oshry, like, follow me if you like me. And if you don't have to follow me. And that's very cool. And I respect your wishes to follow whoever you wish.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for listening to The Toast, the Millennial Morning Show.
Should we just like go like this? Like,
yeah.
So
I do my outro different than Claude. Like,
yeah, let me hear it.
Like, thank you so much for listening to The Toast. Please subscribe, follow us wherever you can do those things. Please leave a 5-star review about how beautiful, stunning, and wickedly talented that we are. And have an amazing day. We love you so much. Love ya. Bye.